Hi, I'm Becky. Today we're going to take advantage of this beautiful weather and go for a walk. Today I've got my 10-pound kettlebell and I'm only going to carry one because I want to build core strength and improve my stability and balance. So we're going to take off and we're going to have one kettlebell and switch it from arm to arm. I start out a little slow because I'm trying to warm up a little bit, although I was out walking around in the yard. Carrying just one kettlebell, you have to remember to keep your core tight and don't lean to it. Don't let it go like this. Keep it upright. Keep yourself as upright. For me, it's a little bit of an iffy proposition because I wobble. But keep your core as up and down straight as you can. Have your shoulders back, your chin up. Work on form. It's important. The farmer's carry is real important not to let your shoulders do this. You pull them shoulders back. Keep your chin up. You'll get a much greater result if you do that. And I know for different people, shoulders back means different things. You do your shoulders back as far as you can. I know for my kids, they stand up a lot straighter and taller than I do. Their shoulders back looks different than mine. This is my shoulders back. All right, we've come a little ways. I'm going to pull my kettlebell. I'm not going to swing it or just slap it in the other arm. I'm going to gently pass it, but I'm going to keep moving. And I don't really have a time to how long in each hand. And I'm a little winded. I carry it until that shoulder and that arm gets tired, and then I switch it. You know, this is the first time I've carried the 10-pound weights, just one. So this is a new exercise, or a new weight. I've done it with the 5 pounds. The whole idea is change it up. Add when you can, and do different things. Sometimes, this being my injured shoulder, I don't do it as long on that side as the other, so I'm going to change it back. And I find if I'm carrying just one, I can carry a little bit farther, a little bit longer with just the one than I can the two. And I don't know if that's normal or not. That's just how it works for me. I'd like to build up to where I can do 3 sets in each hand. I might get it today. We'll see. We'll see what this shoulder tells me. And after this one has a minute to rest. If I had to pick one single weight exercise, it would be this one. If I could only do one, it would be this. The farmer's carry, I think, is superior. Switching it back again. Woo, I'm starting to win from it. That's where I want to do. I'm going to go one more on that side, and then I'll give myself a break. This is the farthest I have carried the kettlebell so far. That's a win. Celebrate every win. All right. I'm going to set them down right here and pick them up. I'm going to set them in the shade so they don't get hot. They're being black, sometimes they get hot. But I'll set them right here. Try not to round you back when you do that, but I always do. I'll get better at it. My squat is like this. This is the extent of my squat. So that don't help much. I'm going to improve though. And I'm going to sit in a full squat in my 65th year. I'm in 64 now. I got a long way to go. I got a lot of work to do. But I'm going to do it. The farmer's carry winded me a little bit. When I get my wind back, and try to do some other things. Plus, when I get on the road, there's a lot of shady spots. Now, this is a nice shady area right here. It gives me a chance to cool off a little bit. I'm going to do a sideways walk. I was researching this particular walk yesterday, and it talked about in our primitive days, you'll say, our ancestors had to use this maneuver. Oh, here's a car coming. I'll get to the side of the road and continue. Our ancestors had to do this kind of move when their only transportation was walking. But modern man has kind of lost this ability. And losing that ability, it said, whew, got a little sweaty there. Losing that ability contributes to falls. And if you want to be more stable in your day-to-day life and have a lower fall risk, that you should incorporate that into your daily routine. All right. We're going to march a minute. Whew. Swing the arms. I forget to do that. Sometimes I'm so focused on getting my feet right, I forget to swing my arms. Always be friendly with your neighbors. It pays off. If your neighbors like you, you don't have no neighborhood trauma. Whew. That give me a good sweat. Okay. Now, we're going to turn around and walk backwards. This is supposed to improve your knee health. When I went in Tennessee, there was the park, Charlie Daniels Park. There was a man that walked there, and he was in his 80s. And when he was doing his laps, he did one full lap backwards. And I asked him one day, how come? And he said, because I was going to have knee surgery. And I started walking backwards to avoid the knee surgery. And one lap around the park was a half a mile. And he came every day. He said, I no longer have to worry about knee surgery. And walking backwards is way better than knee surgery. And I have to agree with that. I have not had it. I've had doctors tell me I need it. But I don't plan on having it. I'm going to make my body healthy the natural way. I am going to eat foods that causes my body to heal, not deteriorate. And I'm going to move my body in a very conscious way that encourages strength and mobility. Speaking of which, Dr. Sean O'Mara, he's a very big advocate of sprinting. I'm going to sprint now. It won't look like his, but I'm going to sprint. This is my version of sprint. Looks kind of funny, I know, but it does give me the same results. Whew. Elevates your heart rate. Now, when you're out here exercising, there's a lot of traffic on my road today. When you're out here exercising, wear your clothes that are comfortable. Wear your comfortable shoes. You don't have to have fancy exercise outfits and shoes and stuff. If you want that, more power to you. You don't have to have it. You need something comfortable, weather appropriate, and the determination to move. That's all you need. And I will do an activity that boosts my heart rate, and then I just kind of walk regular or stroll until I get it back down where it's not racing, and then I do some other activity to bring it back up again. It gives me the best cardiovascular workout. That improves my heart health. I hope this fan blocks your earbuds don't interfere with my sound quality. Alright, I'm going to walk backwards again. This one doesn't raise my heart rate as much as some of the others, but the benefits are still remarkable. And there's so many other things to do while you're walking, different variations that are good for you. You just want to be sure you do something you enjoy. That will make you go and do it more often. If you hate it, it's like that little bicycle thing that I ride sometimes. If I can get out of that, I will. If I can go for a walk or do other things, whew, I'm going to do something different. Because I don't like doing that. I love a treadmill. Love a treadmill. I went to a gym in Cookeville, Tennessee for years. And they had these treadmills, and they elevated as you walked. And you could adjust the speed and the elevation and all that stuff. And I had kind of got addicted to them. I was delivering mail then, so I was getting a lot of outside activity. And I would go to this gym, and I would walk this treadmill. I did the other stuff some too, but the machines and weights and all that. But the treadmill, we developed a relationship. I looked forward to seeing that treadmill. I went every day. And they had nice flexible hours, so I could go anytime I wanted to. And I would walk on that treadmill at least an hour every day. And I got where I could incline it to 12% solid. Like I would start out flat, and I would incline it just a little, walk a little, incline it a little more. But at the 10-minute mark, after I was all warmed up, I took it to the 12% and stayed at 12% to the end of the hour, and then gradually came back down and slowed down. I loved that. Those treadmills were amazing. And I was very strong that was a very good time for me for hiking and all that stuff. I had stamina, endurance, leg strength. I plan on getting me a treadmill. And if I can get a new one, because I want what I want. No substitutions. I want what I want. And if I can get that treadmill, we'll do an unboxing. And I'll let you see what it looks like from the factory. Oh, all right. Now we need to march a minute. Whew. Lots of traffic today. Whew. Now we're going to walk a minute. There's a real nice subdivision within walking distance of me. Has very fine houses, very nice sidewalks, ponds with water features, and all of that. But I like to walk in the more country area. So I have a tendency to go this way. My husband likes the subdivision. I like this. Do what you like. It's actually a shortcut to go back out onto the main road to go through the subdivision. I don't ever go in or out that way. I want to be in the rural areas. All right, I'm going to sidestep for a minute. And remember, after you do one side, you still have to do the other side. And I think I'm actually a little slower when I'm doing this. Now, the sprinting is a little bit faster, but marching and this and backwards walking is slower, but that's okay. Whew, time to switch. This is supposed to be good for balance and hip flexors and just general mobility. Those are things I need help with. You might be real strong in your legs. Whew, I think this is the turnaround spot today. Oh, that little blue post right there, that's a good place to turn around. That'll mark my distance for today. Oh, your body might be, you might have real strong upper body, but your cardio is a little weak and your legs are a little weak. You may not need to work out with weights. Your job might be, working and picking up heavy stuff and carrying it. You might be a bricklayer or something. And if that's the case, do what you got to do to make your legs and your cardio strong. I got great neighbors. If you walk a lot during your job, but you don't have any upper body strength, work the upper body. Everybody needs cardio. Everybody. Cardio gives us heart health. We seem to have an epidemic of heart attacks right now. Between the processed foods and the inactivity, heart attacks are rampant. I don't want a heart attack. I'm going to do cardio. And I'm going to eat. In order to build muscle, you must eat loads of protein. I am trying to eat 1 gram of protein for every pound of my ideal body weight. It's really hard for me to eat that much protein. A lot of protein-dense foods are eggs and meat, seafood. And I try to eat as much of that as I can. And considering that I try to eat as much carnivore as possible, I get in a lot more now than I used to. Eating a standard American diet, man, I wasn't getting no protein. That was really low. But now that I'm carnivore-ish, my protein level has picked up. I do not do protein powders because protein powders I consider as a processed food. You do them? Great. Do what you feel comfortable and what your body responds well to. My body does not, if it comes out of a factory in any shape or form, my body does not like it. If it grows on a farm, I do pretty good with it. Although, not beans. Beans, I eat so few non-carnivore foods. Not too long ago, for the holidays, I ate some beans. And when I ate those beans for about 3 days, I had so much bloat and misery in my belly. I realized then beans are a no-go for me. And that's what you do. You listen to your body. If something you eat makes you feel great, eat more of it. If something you eat makes you miserable, cross that off the list. I ain't eating that no more. These were northern beans, and they tasted really good. But my belly said, no way. Don't you do this to me again. I'm going to listen. Because I didn't enjoy my belly being all bloated up and cramping and all kinds of yucky stuff happening. I'm a very firm believer in listening to your body. When I played sports and even on the farm, you had a task to finish. And you pushed through and you did it no matter what. Even if it meant push through till you get an injury. I've learned that I push hard. But when my body says, that's it, all done, time to stop. And so some things that I used to do that were very difficult can be modified, and I can still do them, I just do them different. Will I be able to ever do them unmodified? Oh yeah, definitely. I'm determined. But right now, my body needs it modified. And after I do the modification I'm doing now, and my body gets used to that, then I'll modify a little less. And when my body gets used to that, then I won't have to modify at all. And I will be able to do it normally. If you had asked me last summer, you have a, 3,200 square foot house in Tennessee, maybe 3,400 square foot. It was a big house. It had 2 offices in it. We run a plumbing company. 2 offices and my living room was 20 by 60 feet. It was a huge house. I had a butler pantry and all kinds of stuff. If you had told me last summer that this summer, I started moving us in June to serious moving, win the household. If you had told me that in 30 days I could have packed up all the stuff from that house and got it moved down here, I'd have said you're crazy. When I went on the very first trip by myself up there, I got up there that evening, I slept that night. My daughter come the next morning to help me start putting stuff in boxes. And she come in and I was sitting in a chair, just kind of looking around. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm pretty overwhelmed." She said, "One box at a time." And I did it, one box at a time. She could help me a day or two here and there. And then on loading days, I would recruit other people to help load U-Hauls and things because some of my furniture were kind of big and heavy. Too much for me and her. Stephen come and helped, and Randy Jr. come and helped, and one of his friends. And I got it done. I got all Randy's vehicles moved down. I made trips back and forth all by myself driving. I did great. I was tired when it was done, but I did it. Don't look at a task as being impossible. Look at it one box at a time. All right, I gotta walk backwards. And I gotta do one more sprint, but we're gonna walk backwards first. I have a tendency to forget this part. And I probably need this part the most because I got a bad knee. I've heard it a couple of times. I had a motorcycle wreck when I was 15 and heard it the first time. And then I had a car wreck when I was in my early 30s and heard it again. And I had to have surgery on it when I was about 35 to kind of clean it up a little. It's just a scope surgery, but arthritis has taken it over pretty good. But you know what? One box at a time, one step at a time. I can do this. You can too. One box at a time, one step, one step, one step, one step, one step, one step. Just keep stepping. You'll get there. No matter what you set your goal at, you will get there if you just keep moving towards it. Catch my breath and I'll need to sprint one last time before we get to... I don't like to sprint on my driveway because it's gravel. We have a nice breeze. This breeze is wonderful. Once I get in the driveway, I got to go back to the kettlebell. And one thing about carrying it away from the house and down to the end of the driveway, I have to pick it up and carry it back. So that motivates me to exercise more. When this car passes, we'll do the sprinting. All right, let's go. Let's sprint. I know, it's okay to laugh at me when I sprint. I don't mind. Sprint with me. Sprinting needs to be fast. I get short of breath. Whew. Okay. Cool down before we get to the kettlebells. I like to take a little just walk section in between each activity. Recovery is important. I used to didn't think so. Now I know it is. It's great if you can, and I did this at one point in my life. I used to run 2 miles a day. My husband, when he was in the Navy, they put a rucksack on and did 10 miles a day. That's great. But what I'm doing is great too. A year ago, I couldn't have done this. Next year, maybe I'll be able to run again. I don't really want to run. The sprinting is good, but I don't really want to run. When I was a kid, I was always in a hurry, or a young person, I was always in a hurry. Running seemed like a natural thing to do. Well, I'm in a different phase of my life. I'm not in that big a hurry no more. Maybe you are. Maybe you have to cover 3 miles and you've only got, a half an hour to do it or 20 minutes. Maybe you need to run to get your 3 miles in. I ain't in that big a hurry. You do you, I'll do me. All right. There's my old friend, the kettlebell. Get as close to good form as you can and bend over and pick him up. Now we're going to walk and carry him along and do the farmer's carry. Most of the time, I do 2, 1 in each hand. But it's good to change it up. If you keep your body guessing, then it never knows what you're going to max out at. If you do the same thing all the time, you're going to max out at just enough improvement to take care of that, whatever it is you're doing. But if you change things up, your body doesn't know where there's a max. All it knows is she might do something different tomorrow. I better be ready. All right, time to switch hands. Shoulder back, chin up. Shoulders back and chin up is pretty much, that goes with everything. I'm so glad for this breeze, because I've definitely worked up a sweat. See, I'm getting winded. I'll be winded all the way now, because I can't set my kettlebell down. I'm just switching arms. I'm giving my heart a good workout. I go until that arm is tired. Once that arm is tired, we switch over. I'm really starting to feel it in my shoulders. They're getting tired. But this is one of them things. I'm going to push, not to the point of injury, but I'm going to push. Because I'm building strength. Switching hands. There's a car coming. I got to get over. I'm pretty winded. Talking is getting difficult. That's where I want to be. You want to be able to carry on a conversation and talk to your walking partner. You're my walking partner today. You want to be able to talk to that person, but you want to be a little bit. Wind is not coming through those earbuds though. We have a pretty good breeze going today. It feels good, but I'm hoping it doesn't mess with the microphones. And I'm trying to keep my core as stable as possible. And even though I wobble a bit, it is as straight up and down as I can handle. My goal is to figure out why I wobble, or limp, or whatever you want to call this, and find an exercise that will correct it. That is my goal. I haven't figured out that exercise. Hey, if you have any ideas, please comment and tell me. Oh, whew. That was a good workout. I'm so happy you're with me today and we're working out. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to get me a bottle of water and sit in my chair for a few minutes, because you're still allowed to sit in your chair and rest and recover. You just can't stay there too long. You got to get back up and go. So rest now. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.